Hey everyone, how we all doing this afternoon? I'm not gonna lie, I have never been a fan of Mondays, and you can tell they really know how to put everyone in a very miserable drag. And let's be super honest, Mondays are nobody's favorite days to deal with, and that really tells the truth as we all. That really tells it all and the whole truth as we know it. It's Let's be honest. Who wants to spend a day on a day where you feel like Mondays will do anything to put you in a drag and you just want to get away from it and then just move on to the next day? So yeah. So I'm working on so yeah. You all know what I'm talking about. Mondays are a real pain in the ass. Are a real pain Mondays are a real pain in the asses, so we all know how they are. But don't worry about it. The day is almost over, so come tomorrow, we'll focus on something that keeps us calm and relaxed. So, yeah. Other than that, I'm making another art masterpieces video, but on this one's going to be very special. What I want to talk to you all about. So, this year is coming to an end. It's winding down close. What am I saying? Sorry. I want to tell it like it is. This year is winding down slowly as it comes to an end, and we are looking at 2024 for something new to happen. Not only for something new to happen, but more like a change to come on to the scene, and pretty much come about as we look forward to it. It's like saying someone. It's like someone saying, looking on. I mean, how do I say this? It's like someone looking over someone look. It's like someone looking at something on the horizon coming up. So, as I would put it that way. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really looking forward to 2024 because it's time something new happened. It's time for a change to come about, even onto the scene as we all know it. So yeah, and I've been putting these words down on a couple of my artworks as I've been working on. So, and the words have said it's time to defy the odds. And when I say those words, I mean it's actually time to defy the odds. It's time for a change. I'm Everyone's getting sick and tired of this same cycle that's been going on for the last, I want to say, for the last many numerous years, where everyone wants to play by the same methods they always do and play by the same rules as they always follow through. And to tell the truth, I'm just tired of how. Actually, what am I saying? I'm just speak from. Let me clear what I'm about to. Let me clear what I've been trying to say and say what I have to say right out my chest. Autism has really reached the highest population for more fellows being diagnosed on the spectrum. And if we go back, I remember how it was first mentioned, but a lot of people were not comfortable with it because they kept assuming there was a disease or illness that needed to be gone, even destroyed out of society's existence. When I found out about my diagnosis, I really wanted to do something very. I want autism to really exist as a good thing and not as a bad thing because I don't know how to say this, so I'm just going to say it like this. When autism was first mentioned about, a lot of people did not know. You know what? I'm just going to put it like this. 2024, it's time to defy the odds. Seriously. It's time for a change. I'm not going to lie to you. Autism has really reached its greatest population with more fellows being diagnosed on the spectrum. I mean, if you take a look back then, and I'm not going to be racist, so I'm just going to tell the very truth as we know it. I remember how, you know what, I I'm not even going to say it, so I'm just going to tell it like it is. I remember how autism first came about, and as that first came along, a lot of people did not know how to deal with it, especially from where I'm living, and they all looked at it like it was some disease that needed to be gone or even destroyed. And I was like, I don't see it as a disease or an illness. I see it as a blessing that could help you become your own character where you don't have to be like what everyone is these days. And I felt the autism community did not have a voice back then because A lot of people still did not know how to deal with autism, and they just looked at it like as if it just needs to be gone and gone forever. And I was like, I don't see it as a dangerous thing. I see it as a good thing. I feel like it gives fellows I feel like it makes fellows become their own characters in a way where being different is always a good thing. Makes you feel special no matter where you come from in life. And I don't know, and you know how to tell it, and to tell it like this is, I remember how the autism community had done so much for me that I wanted to get something back in return, and that was become their voice because back then, which I remember very, very much, the autism community did not have a voice. It felt like as if there were people that was right behind. There was people that was right behind the autistic community, but always knew how to abandon them in the quick of a flash, whenever something new was happening. And then you had others who were also being diagnosed more on the spectrum, even if it came to more fellows from minorities. Actually, how can I put it this way? From the minority clan that always found themselves being diagnosed. Actually, let me put it like this is. I remember how autism was still growing as the population of it was still increasing like skyrocket, like a skyrocket that you couldn't get away from. And the skyrocket kept going so high that more people got diagnosed than you never thought would happen. Even if it came to fellows coming from minorities you never saw coming. And sorry, that's nothing. And I remember how the more fellows on the spectrum got diagnosed with autism, the more autism really became noticed, and how it really played a very important and how it played a very important role in all fellows that are on the spectrum. Yeah, how it played a very important role in every fellow's life that was on the spectrum. So I've been working on new paint. I've been working on paintings just to, I've got a very special painting I will show you at the end. So I just want to tell it like it is. This art masterpieces video. This is number 30 as I talk about why I'm trying to tell you what you should do when it comes to a fellow with autism. I say this coming from me. Please make them feel welcome. Do not treat them like they don't deserve to exist. They don't deserve to be welcome where they are, or make them feel like as if they deserve to be sent away forever. Make them feel welcome. Make them feel like they know where they. Make them feel like as if they know where to. How should I say it? Make them feel welcome. Make them feel like they deserve to exist, and make them feel like as if they have a sense of belonging that is always right there for them. Do not make them feel like they deserve to be unwelcome, and do not make them feel like as if they don't deserve to exist as ever. And here's another thing: please do not throw in the force patrol on them. When I say the force patrol, I mean no force upon them, because that has been going on for a very, very long time. There's a reason I say these words that you have not heard me say, but I know a couple of fellows I know that have heard me say this. Support, not force. And why do I say those words? Because I've seen more fellows play a game called the forcing game instead of going for the support game. They just want someone to get them to listen, and next thing you know, you've triggered the fellows that are on the spectrum as if you're not making them feel calm and relaxed, even care for their well being. You're making them feel like as if either they don't do what you want them to do, or you're just gonna play the forcing game on them that will go too far. I've seen this shit for the last many years. And to tell the truth, I'm really getting tired of it. It's getting really, really old. Old as if you're tired of the same routine you've been seeing for the last many, many numerous years, and you wish it could just disappear and not even return, where it's time for a change. But let's be honest, some people just want to stay, just want some people just want these aspects to stay the way they should be. So if someone that is different doesn't understand them, then there comes the forcing game, which is never a good thing. I just tired of how I feel like we're getting somewhere with the autism community. We really are. Actually, let me put it like this. Making a difference is the most important thing. Actually, let me put it like this: the autism community deserves to feel safe and calm and relaxed, and their well-being is the most important thing as ever. To make them feel like as if they're not being forced upon, and support is the most important thing to remember. If you throw in force on them, then why you? Then I feel like you've become something to them. You've become the enemy that never learned from their mistakes. Hold on. If you throw the forcing game on them, as if you think they're not gonna, I don't know how to say this. I say it's like this: support, not force. Support is the most important thing. Support them for their difference. Support them for being so different that being different makes you feel special, no matter where you come from in life. Being your own character, that's definitely the most important thing that no fellow can ever forget. Being your own character, that's the most important thing to always go for. You don't have to be like what everyone is these days just to get something out of it. And to also tell the truth, I'm sick of people playing the forcing game on all fellows that are on the spectrum. It's like if they won't listen to you, you'll just throw the forcing game on them, making them feel uncomfortable and unsafe, knowing that you haven't created an environment that hasn't been safer and calming and relaxing or care about their well-being as they find themselves in a trigger situation. When I say support, not force, I mean support is the most important thing, not force. But it seems, but you know what? Others, they really don't learn, especially people who have their heads so far up their asses. And I have always dealt with that throughout my entire life, especially if your ass is living on the other side of the river that represents the East. And let's be honest, that this side, I would put it like this: the East can pretend it's making a difference all it wants, but I still remember how times were when autism was still first mentioned. And I see the change that is still coming about as we know it. So I want to tell it like it is. It's time for a change. And when 2024 comes, it will definitely be time to defy the odds. Let's be honest. I'm sick of the same routine I have been seeing for the last many numerous years. And it's time for a change to come in and make things feel safer, calmer, even even relaxing as we know it. And the well-being is the most important thing for all fellows on the spectrum. People say they know what they're doing, but I feel like they just go too far when they throw the forcing game on them. So it's time for a change. And change is the most important thing as ever. Which is why I worked on this over Thanksgiving weekend. And you can see as I put up here, you know this as I run all over this painting. Support, not force. In 2024, it's time to defy the odds. As our voice definitely deserves, actually, I'm going to put it like this: as our voice deserves to be heard. Remember, remember, support, not force. Autism lives matter, and they definitely matter as ever. I will hold this up so you guys can see for yourselves. All right. I'm not gonna lie, for years I have dealt with many people saying that they know what they're doing, but I feel like trouble is gonna come about, and the worst part is you just never know when it's going to strike. Which is why your best option is always to keep both eyes open, knowing that something could happen in a dreadful and terrible way. When someone's on the spectrum, make them feel welcome, make them feel that there is a sense of belonging for them that is always waiting for them to come in. That is always waiting for them to come in. Make them feel like as if they are not alone and they have friends and families that do care about them very much as ever. And as for others that believe they know what they're doing, but don't know what they're doing when they go too far with their methods of helping fellows on the spectrum, You know what? I have nothing to say because I'm just tired of how they say they know what they're doing, but then they play the force patrol. They play the forced game, which is the forcing game, which is never a good thing. So it's time for a change. And when I say a change, you know what I mean. That's why I said these words at the beginning of this. In 2024, it's time to defy the odds. As our voice will definitely be heard. As our voice deserves to be heard and not to be ignored as ever. Support, not forced. Autism lives matter. So I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoy this coming from me. You're more than welcome to watch this as I tell you what it means to help the autism community get their voice heard, especially get their voice out to be heard as ever. Their needs, the autism community's needs, is the most important thing to focus on as ever. We need to make a change happen. And this needs and we need to put an end to those that believe they know what they're doing, but they're going too far with their methods of helping fellows with autism and all fellows that are on the autism spectrum as ever. So it's time to fight the odds. It's time to bring the fight. It's like what Jason Bourne would say, I will bring this fight to your door as if you never saw this fight come in the very first place. And that's what I plan to do. I plan to bring this fight to anyone's door that dares to say that autism does not deserve to exist. To exist. It's time to bring the fight as we know it. So I'm going to wrap this up. I just want to say thank you for your time, especially for your time of need. And I hope you enjoy this coming from me. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And I will see you guys the next time I make another Art Masterpieces video. I must remind you this was number 30, and I will make another one, which may be number 31. So keep your eyes on the lookout for that. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I will see you guys next time on this video. The next time I make another video. Take care and enjoy the rest of your evening.